A ver, ya empezamos. Empezamos. Espero que se oiga mejor que el otro día. Vamos a darle una hora nada más. No, ¿cuál nueva? Era... cargar, ¿verdad? Es un nuevo día en el mundillo este. A ver, ¿quién tiene cosas que decirnos?
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union must have turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. The men who drink beer for breakfast? There's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them. I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like the manager said. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RC. In fact, even the death of two detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay? Everything points to the dock workers' union. The belt used for hanging him, which may, of course, all be... One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Yeah, streetwise. Zoom right past. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway,
Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear. Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too. The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night. But I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always... But you have more important things to worry about.
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know. Expeditions often lead to something interesting.
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect, but they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What? Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day. I doubt it, sweetie. The traps aren't big enough for humans to get caught in them. They're for the...
Do it. Find him. This will surely lead to a mystery with that extremely rare insect. Yes, please. Some science fiction is exactly what's needed right now. Spice up that vanilla murder investigation.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did suggest we play it cool, but...
Me gusta cómo suena pero probablemente le convenza más a Kim esta respuesta.
If you say so.
Oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right here if you come across any sign of Morel. Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and herbs.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite.
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's, and his palms are quite coarse.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete.
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, just in case. We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after we hit it off, and, well...
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I hope I've been useful. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating, but I shouldn't bore you.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but...
Ah yes, Phasmatodea. A diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Oh yeah. Here comes the interest.
Where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
It's not made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all. Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect. Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses.
I suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian phasmid. All science. Not at all. Why else would it Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie. Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years. Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special. Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
You're an enthusiastic idiot, but you're still an idiot.
We don't have time for Cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we?
Let me handle this. Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are? This is Martin.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
Yes, extremely normal. I'm not a gardener, by the way. So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does. That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we...
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. In Martinez, you are no one. Aggressive, you make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. Just dock worker.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are still...
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. No one is emotional here. Do your job. Ask your questions, then leave. Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems? What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going to do anything to you.
Goddamn.
If anything, it is the RCM who...
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
Oh, this is about him. A real look.
You sure took your time, huh? Waited for him to get real.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy. Hanging up there.
I can't for the life of me understand why you did it. I mean, I would have just left him up.
You might want to start asking your questions now.
Do a head count first. Connect these men to the tracks you saw in the yard. Chances are they're going to match. Starting from the right, boot size 44, blonde man, in his 30s, overbearingly masculine. Sitting on his right, standard working boots, size 45 or 46, eldest in the room. Across at the other table, hobnailed working boots, size 43, gang tattoos, Mesk or Sarah Maritzian, in his late 30s, early 40s. He spent his youth in Villa Labos, a housing project in the Jamrock quarter. There were incarcerations, hard to say what else. And then, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 46, the big dick, wide. The emblem on his vest says Rowing Club. A little patch below it reads, T. Hardy, Captain. In the far corner, standard working boot, steel reinforced toes, size 44, 40-something, non-alcoholic beverage in hand on his neck. Forget it. It's not. Let's call this one the musician. Size 41, with the light step. Not a child, after all. An older man with a rat face, mean, watery eyes, and two in the middle, heaving and wheezing. Big guy, boot size 46, deep marks, probably carried the victim over. He alone is 130 kilos. Add the man in armor. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. The footprints were theirs, but there's a discrepancy. Exactly. You've stood there for about 4 seconds, not saying anything. Hit the...
What the fuck is with you, fella? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy, there's 7 of us and we're all here. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl? Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here.
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks...
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. You're not cops here. Don't go digging around.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
The pretty boy. You guys really love talk.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
You mean these boots? We all got a pair. We wore them the night we took the pretty boy out back and hung him by the neck. Yeah, we did this. Together. All of us.
There's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
'Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm RNA's goddamn..."
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some RNA's paratrooper song, and...
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did. Right there.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started to come in here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls. Grabbed one of ours mid-karaoke.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. "Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt?" Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it.
Yeah, me and Eugene got around. Aren't you?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation.
No, you're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter. And I'm not dis-
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt
Chaise électrique is the method of capital punishment in Revachol under the Coalition. During the suzerain's reign, it used to be the fire.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
Oh, so you are just a simple, well-meaning man, eh? Ever been in solitary? Prison is a charter. That's...
So he's hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide, not for the officer making an arrest. What you can do right now is go back to your station and write a report.
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week.
Known him? We don't...
Yeah!
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines cow first sailed into town. Happy?
By the Pines cow, you mean the representative for Wild Pines? The shipping company you are striking against?
No. I mean the Pines cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. But why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
We hanged him up by his neck.
Didn't they teach you anything?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus, you don't have to clarify any...
We overpowered him. Dragged his unconscious body to the tree. Put a noose...
Then we left him for seagulls, maggots...
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up. Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others. But
No. Of course he's having trouble breathing. Just look at how fucking...
Fuck off, Shanky. Angus is a powerful guy.
keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
And fuck you, too, Copper. Picking on Angus like this. We're done with this.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about the night of the murder. Not yet.
Like what, Copper? Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear, while the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve, there's a knife in there. Some of the others reach for their belts. Their eyes are light.
Look, Coppers. I know you think you're doing your job here, but there are 7 of us, and 2 of you.
That's an Easter 50, a Ziemsk-made monstrosity. It'll blow your head clean off. The bore's the size of your eye. I can almost see the stars. The last thing you hear is a little murmur. Not a blast, not an echo. No one screams. It's more dead cops. Sad news from the district of Martinez. As
Morning.
Creo que aprendimos la lección.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They
Perdimos
look
20
rowdy.
minutos.
We should talk to them. Everything points, which may, of course, all be... I mean, in government, men who drink beer for breakfast? I completely forgot. One loose thread less to worry about. And one big problem to replace it. That would just... In fact, even the death of 2 detectives. One more thing before we do.
yeah, street but aren't you curious?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place.
Can I help you?
Yes?
Just a moment.
She's agitated.
And there's no...
The closest...
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get... The manager was...
Why would he be?
To let the young woman... I was also hoping...
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
That's just it. But you have more...
More important than a missing expedition? I don't know.
Just some field, but they should have returned by now. They were... Oh, sweet. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day. There's a nameless old fishing village.
I can't say...
Do it. Find her husband. Some fringe science is exactly what's needed right now. Spice up that vanilla murder.
Are you sure we have time to go chasing after bug hunters just now? I did. If you say so.
Oh, thank you, officers. Truly, I'll be right. Oh, yes. A zoologist.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legit...
That's one...
She's used to playing off such insults casually.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to...
It's not a hobby. Searching for...
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but...
Oh, dear. I'm not sure where to begin.
You can't go around Revachol feeling...
Oh, wait.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook.
One other thing. He'll likely we'll be celebrating our 16th via date and age. We hit it off.
She's skipping over some important...
I hope I've been useful. Oh, sweetie.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
Well?
Ah, yes. Oh, yeah. Here comes...
Where other fads, hence its name.
I knew it.
It's not made up. It's simply elusive. Oh, I doubt it. No, well, some teenagers making out. Of course, most...
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her...
I suppose I have something... Not at all. Yes, it can... Oh, dear. Morel can explain it all much better.
A ver, lo vamos a quitar. nos resta autoridad, entonces pues vamos a quitárselo. ¿Qué otros objetos útiles puede tener? ¿Quiere el escalofrío? Escalofrío.
Let me handle this. Detective Disorient.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold.
That's right. I am not a gardener. So let's get to that tight.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an...
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
A ver, vamos a guardar. Porque estoy bien idiota.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? What are we going to do to you? The union isn't going... If anything, it, like I already told you, what you want is aggressive. Listen.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Let's.
This is where you say your bit.
Detective.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man...
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
What, is he fucking kidding? This guy high or something?
Hey, asshole, up here. We're talking to you.
We are looking for Titus Hardy.
Wow. The RCM sent
Real big dick cops. Look at...
Yeah, look at the big dick on...
Must be something in the watering jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might want to start asking your questions now.
Do a head count first, starting from sitting across. He spent his youth, and then the emblem on his in the far corner, standard on his neck. Let's call this one size 40 in the middle, heaving. In conclusion, these 7 are the actors on the crime scene. Exactly.
The fuck is with you, fella? So,
They love him!
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
That is fucking bizarre. Imagine.
The lieutenant waits for your reply, patiently. His foot taps. He said they killed him. These uninitiated do not understand the fineries of runic science.
Well, you're not completely off. We did kill him. We did this together, all of us, last Sunday night. So
there's a catch hidden somewhere. He didn't confess so that you could take them all away. It's too simple.
There is no catch. These 7 honest men have all equally come forth to tell you what happened, so that you don't waste any more of your time.
A ver, ¿qué podemos hacer aquí? Bueno, podemos hacer que no nos maten. Vamos a probar con este.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti-arrest tactic.
why? 'Cause he was Ian.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that
A live grenade.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the wrong
From rape to arrest.
to kill us all.
Yeah, he said it.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then he gets.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
There's something. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
Are you deaf? Do you think you could do that?
A trick question. Don't let her lead them.
Who do you fucking think does? You keep him the fuck out of this. We have autonomy.
When the shit starts spinning, it will not land on Mr. Clare. That's the deal here. The fixer will ignore the notion completely, focusing on Titus's culpability.
When Titus Hardy says he runs the Hardy Boys, he means that in an administrative capacity. On that night, everyone acted as one man.
We hanged him up.
Didn't they teach you?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus,
We overpowered him.
Then we left it.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up. Titus is solid as a rock, and so are a few others, but...
Fuck off, copper.
This one is a stone wall. You won't get more out of them about...
No. Of course he's having trouble.
Fuck off, Shanky.
Keep your eye on this powerful guy. Sooner or later, he's going to break like a piece of twig.
With numbers, asshole.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening?
Like what, copper? How many people have you...
Chaise électrique is the method...
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years.
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the...
But you see, a lawman, is something people agree upon. And here in Martinez, we agreed that this man...
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax.
Known him?
Yeah.
Quiet.
By the Pines Cow, you mean the
No. Why don't you ask?
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end.
Yeah, lawman.
It's almost an
Pero aquí viene lo
anthropological site.
Not in
importante.
the arresting mood.
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from... While the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve, there's a knife in there.
Wise move. You made the right choice there. Now make another one and get the
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. I've done this job for...
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you didn't get a beating. Again. About fucking time. What do you... or what?
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
She?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn!
It has to be good. If he was...
So let me get this straight.
That's right. You're not cops here.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
Muy bien, vamos a poder regresar después.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar? You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with, almost exclusively, men, sitting on...
Huh? You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
A ver, ¿cuál es la mejor? Creo que este es el más ofensivo.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for 10 years. Martin.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the...
Congratulations on the graffiti removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from...
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
Titus is hiding nothing.
You want to talk to her?
Everybody has something to hide.
So long as you treat her with respect. No questioning, no harassing, or you got the...
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit. Blonde. That's I'm on due. With an O-U.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Sure. Why not? You've probably seen her around.
A ver qué pasa.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting and sweat starts forming on your brow as Titus looks at you oddly.
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just have a few more questions. Then we'll be on our way.
Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Relationship there wasn't.
It was like that karaoke.
Okay, enough.
He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't...
Here you go, boss.
I know her.
How well do you?
A small twitch in the corner of Kim's mouth. He has a hunch about what knowing means.
Well enough, Copper. We partied. She's been here for a few months.
He tries to make it sound real casual, but the muscles on his neck tighten.
You mean Revachol? Nah. Our Miss Aranye disco dancer isn't...
Don't you give her any more trouble. She's just had some bad luck, that's all. Shut up, Angie. She doesn't need your help.
Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent.
What do you think I meant? Yeah, pretty much. No, we just fucked. That's all. I'm not gonna give you any...
He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance of I don't give a shit.
You don't know her. Not the way I do. Remember what I said. Freight train of pain. Again? Seriously, man. Yeah, whatever.
No nos mataron, por lo menos. Eso es una ventaja. Una tremenda ventaja estar vivo. A ver, vamos a guardar. Y vamos a hablar con...
Officer, what was that? You looked strange when he mentioned the assault victim's name. Do you know that woman? Is there something I should know before we talk?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else? Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday. Okay, that's manageable. So she overheard you, or did you party together? Anything else? What you're saying is, you raped her?
Ice is forming on the inside of your chest cavity.
Then, don't ever say that again.
Okay.
What else? We'll be alright, officer. This is nothing.
Is it though? Nothing? You're still in for a bumpy ride here. Try not to mess it up.
Ah, qué difícil. Cada vez me da más miedo cagarla. Ah, miren, un nuevo humano por aquí.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garancy Quebec. Please, it's not funny. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove. He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that door. The mention of mañana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Boss need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
A ver, no sé qué hacer.
He smiles, nodding vigorously, then pours half a bottle of vodka into the pot. With a whistle, he stirs the brew.
Pues sí.
He smiles and nods enthusiastically, and, chattering away in his language, ladles some brew into a small thermal cup, then hands it to you.
Muy bien, ¿dónde está nuestro vodka? Ah, pero nos baja moral. Entonces... A ver...
Well, hello. Someone seems to have found himself a bottle of alcohol. Here's light reflex of the thermal cup. The borscht may not look like much, but doubtless it'll get the job. Wow, the gods of mass production have made this alcohol container laughably easy to open. A child could have done it. There's a satisfying pop as the cap comes off, and the hair on your back rises like an army at attention. You've been here before. Welcome back, detective. You're home, nothing. Some mental stuff. Nothing to be worried about. Physically, you'll be strong as an ox. Despair creeps into you.
No.
Getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once had as a police officer, you're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
I don't dispute that you have been charged with protecting the people of a particularly challenging district. But poverty does not make one...
Nothing you can say would make... Cop gives up to detective.
Muy bien, vamos a dejar... No vamos a intentar tomar nada.
You see a heavy steel door. The cobalt old it leads to a side build. The door does...
Hello, dear. I didn't notice you at first.
You're an enthusiastic idiot, but you're still an idiot.
We don't have time for Cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we?
A ver, vamos a tratar de hablar con la muchacha esta.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police. Can we...
Come on up. The door is open.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere. You could... This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APA pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Nacra, this is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
You could say he's on the lookout. Pill bottles rattle. Nacra, this is... The lieutenant glances at the rows of pills. You could say he's on the lookout.
Anything of note?
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed. Silently, the bottle slides into your palm. Then, as you turn, into your pocket. Feels so sleek and beautiful. You got it. Here comes the afterburner. Time to become a super detective again, Harry. Just put it...
Uy, moral. Vamos a aumentar nuestra moral primero, porque si no nos va a madrear. ¿Pero de qué manera podemos aumentar nuestra moral?
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass, smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside, even smudges. But the surface of the window is clear from following your lead. The lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
A ver, vamos a equiparnos con esta cosa para tener mayor empatía.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a Maybell. The young woman looks at the Maybell in your hand, just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious orchestrations I have seen in my life. And oh yeah, life gets hard, but we go on.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll.
Wow.
I assure you, he's not about to tear it up in any style. In fact...
We'll show him. You'll tear it up all the...
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man who was hanged. The people responsible have asked us to talk to you.
Huh. I see.
What could she be thinking of? It's hard to say. Her shoulders are relaxed, her eyes on the sick. It's like she's disappointed this wasn't about more entertaining matters. She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried Maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style? A martial art, sir. Is that...
Samurai boxing, or Sambo, graceful martial arts stuff. Sambo style implies stealth and cool.
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind? Clausier Amandu.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could say I am an Oranese expatriate. A bad memory, officer.
The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Muindi Isola, north of here. over the sea and across the Pale. It is one of the 6 major Occidental nations to hold stake in the continued occupation of. They will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources, hold patents and shares, but they won't threaten to wipe you.
Of lilacs and lightning, parks, glass, duraluminium. Forte is a conference city. It's always autumn there. And night.
What's so bad about that?
Nothing. If you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literatures are only the name.
What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters.
No. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world. That's just a phase the Revacholian hero goes through. Before
She seems quite relaxed for a victim of assault. But, of course, what seems should not be your priority.
Nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit. Many things. A roller skating instructor, a secretary, Miss Oranje 37.
Of course she won a beauty pageant. She's very symmetrical.
I'm afraid you can't, officer.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets.
Thank you for your candor. What?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausia Mondu.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol. Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it. With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle I intend for it.
The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically. Huh? Motherfucker took my Preptide? Looks like you owe me one, officer. I'm talking serious corruption here.
This does not amount to actual corruption. I can easily log it under confiscation.
Robbed by common highwaymen.
It's hard to tell if she means it in earnest or as a joke.
It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Yeah. All right.
Es la pregunta que no quería hacer porque no sé cómo va a reaccionar.
It's a bit early in the morning for rape, isn't it?
She looks around. The sun has risen over the sea. People are rushing to work below.
It is. It's murderously early. I'm amazed I'm awake. Why am I even awake? Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more,
By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
Warming them.
I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
Do you?
Maybe you don't.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales. Easy to see now that you're closer.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here. Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be as flippant if I had been? We partied. With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Oh, it is. You're still alive.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the a little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh yes. I have multiple viewpoints. From the roof, out of...
A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some radio fuzz into the cold.
You were right to suspect there might be foul play involved with the broken phone line.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying.
Hey.
Good catch. I appreciate the symmetry. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the union was listening in. Locals say they have ears in the wires.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there.
He won't be down there long, miss. We will move the body to the morgue soon.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now. I can't talk about it.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here.
And his role in this strike was what?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys?
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, it's been a long winter.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief, and we're...
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we, change the subject to something more lighthearted now?
She looks back. Time moves slowly. The triangles of her face. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her person. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit. Nothing. Just time passing. Don't worry. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe. Your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting. She presses her elbows against her waist and slowly turns her head. Her hair brushes her shoulders, making a small hissing sound, almost imperceptible. She presses her elbows and her hair brushes her shoulders, making the strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m. drinking coffee.
As you turn, a bright light catches your eye, making you squint. From a distant sunset, A stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit. What are you, deaf? They're perfect, like rock star politician and drug addict teacher. Embrace the superstardom you've worked so hard to establish. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen. Salam Rocky Baye, badass on-the-edge disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution,
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candor with some facts thrown in draws attention away from whatever one chooses to omit. She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our inquiries will bring us back here soon enough.
Uy, ya llevamos hora y media. Creo que por aquí le vamos a parar aquí. Gracias por ver. Me la pasé muy chido. Fue una buena sesión. Y no tengo luz enfrente de mí porque no me deja leer. Hay que leer mucho. Me acaban doliendo los ojos. Así es que creo que vamos a hacerlo así. Nos vemos mañana o cuando sea necesario.